Noita is a roguelike action game from Nolla Games. In Noita, you are faced with a harsh world where enigma and danger lurk around every corner. In typical roguelike fashion, Noita contains very little in the plot department. A lot of the details concerning the world you inhabit are locked away behind glyphs. The story is cryptic and mysterious. Much of the game's lore is based on Finnish mythology, and this ties in wonderfully with the game's core mechanics. Technology, magic, and the environments you traverse are all equally integral to the game's mechanics. Awareness of all of these elements is key to a successful run. Noita has a steep learning curve and isn't a game that can be easily conquered. Although it's difficult, each run is equally as enticing as the last. This is largely due to the one-building mechanics that are at your disposal. Garnering spells and crafting powerful wands is paramount, and if you don't experiment with different spells, you won't progress. Success in Noita is based on your experiential schema, and learning more as you experiment makes the game rewarding despite persistent deaths. The environments in Noita are just as dangerous as the enemies that you battle. Stains which douse your character in fluid have different effects, both negative and positive. Acid, water, blood and slime all have different implications on how your character interacts with the world, and must be paid attention to. Shooting wands is satisfying as each wand is very different, meaning combat is always varied. You can levitate for a short amount of time, which helps with evading enemy projectile and melee attacks. The game generally feels very polished. The only exception is that you can occasionally get stuck on walls or in tight spots, depending on the terrain. The environments in Noita are superbly designed and bolstered by terrific artwork. Each area feels like it has its own implied history. The animations are slick, and there are some nice touches with physics, such as swishing capes. The physics also play into combat, as using an environmental object to kill enemies doubles their gold output. Noita has some fantastic sound design which goes a long way in immersing you in the game's world. The creepy and atmospheric tone contributes towards the uncertainty of what will happen next. The music is delightfully rich, as well as being unconventional. There is a wide variety of instruments being used, and all to great effect. The fusion-based ambient tracks that accompany Noita are unique and perfectly suited to the game's style. Noita is a brilliant game. The fact that you have to build wands and carefully traverse each area gives it its own unique flavour. The aesthetics, sound and gameplay all come together perfectly. Its brutal gameplay that often bashes you over the head is surprisingly Moorish, and it has one of the best game soundtracks in recent memory. If you're a fan of roguelikes or dungeon crawlers, this is an essential buy.